Warning, warning, math battleship incoming. What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Super John Bombo here. Today we're talking about this little Buccaneer buddy right here. We have a lot to talk about for this guy. I felt the best way to explain or understand the Buccaneer, because just about any upgrade is actually worthwhile for the Buccaneer, is to use an Excel spreadsheet. So what you guys are going to see, hopefully in the top left corner, if I did it right, is going to be a little bit of Excel spreadsheetedness. What you're going to see is on the far left there is the type of Buccaneer. Then we're going to see the cost. Then we're going to see the pops, and then the pops divided by the cost, which I kind of call like my own little efficiency rating. All right, works different than Banana Farms, but it's similar in understanding how good the towers actually are. What you should note about the pops per cost is that the higher is better. So certain towers are gonna, it's pretty even, it's pretty spread out throughout the thing, but as you get higher level upgrades, you're gonna notice it usually goes generally up, and then third tiers tend to like max out for the most part. I should also mention though that it may not be perfect, or it may not work this way in a real life scenario. This is like our max popping power, not our actual popping power, which can definitely be different because of accuracy and attack speed and all that other junk up in there. I did test it on this map, and the way I tested was I did 4 Buccaneers at a time. So I would do something like this. I'd put Buccaneer here, 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 and here, and I'd get random upgrades, so we can do like a regular 0-0, a faster shooting, a Grapeshot, and then like a faster shooting hotshot or something like that. Just sort of weirdo towers over here, and then I would send out 999 of these balloons. And the way these balloons work is you can still get pops. So if you look at our pop count over here, we're maxing out our pops over here. But eventually they completely flood the screen, and that means every single one of our shots is going to get the max popping power basically out of our tower right here. So now that we're fully flooded with balloons, we're getting the max popping power no matter what. This may not be 100,000,000% accurate, but I think it's good enough for us. I tried it on some other maps where I wasn't getting the max popping power, and I didn't end up doing a good job. Then what I ended up doing is I ended up actually deleting the balloons once they got to right here. So I didn't end up starting to miss anymore. So I deleted the balloons, and then I just get a pop count over here, and that's the pop that you guys are going to see on the graph over there. They should be relatively accurate. Hopefully, again, they're not perfect. You're not going to get perfect pop counts every single time for all of these guys, but they should be fairly accurate nonetheless. So just to talk about them really quick, let's talk about the numbers, man. Now this is interesting, because what we're noticing is that the 0-0's, yeah, he's okay. The 1-0 is surprisingly bad. The 2-0-0 is okay. He's getting a little bit better over here, but still not quite amazing. 2-1-0 was surprisingly bad. I thought that was going to be one of the best Buccaneers in the game. A 2-1-0, we're not spending that much money, and we're getting a lot of pops, but still at only 1.97, I was like, okay, actually not as great as I thought it was going to be. The 0-1, just a regular Grapeshot Buccaneer, again, still not amazing. That was like one of the best Buccaneers to use in the previous game, but not quite so in this game. I should also mention that the Buccaneer, if you guys don't know, the Buccaneer does shoot out 2 different directions. So he can shoot out, if I sent out some random balloons over here, oh crap, no, not 999, not 999. If I sent out some like random balloons over here, if there's only one balloon on one side of him, he's only going to attack the one side. But if balloons start to go on both of the sides, and he still has the ability to hit them, he's going to shoot out darts out of both directions, which can actually be really freaking cool over here. It does work for Grapeshot and Double Shot and all that other junk, so you can get a lot of extra pop power if you put him in a spot where he can shoot in both directions and still pop the balloons. Starts as a 0-0 and then works his way all the way up. So definitely an interesting way to use the Buccaneer, and it's definitely going to add to the strategy of the Buccaneer as well. But anyways, going back to the graph over here, guys, or I don't even know, the table. I guess it's called a table, not a graph. Please forgive me, I'll probably call it a graph later today, too. We noticed that there was a couple of surprises over here. The 3-0-0, just like 3-0-0, just the regular Destroyer was rock freaking solid over here at a 2.875, man. Nice. And then moving up to past 3, about 2 times as good as just the 0-0 Buccaneer over here is the Grapeshot Destroyer. And then even better than that, of course, is the Hotshots Destroyer. So even though we're getting more popping power, it doesn't matter how much we're spending on this thing, he's still going to end up getting better. The big surprise for me, though, was the cannon ships. Now, again, I have to say that this is a surprise because normally there's not a million balloons coming out, or not getting the max popping power out of each individual cannon. And that's where it really comes into play. Like, just as a quick example here, man, if we send out a cannon ship against a Moab class balloon, like, he's going to do, like, almost no damage. The amount of popping power we get is okay, but, like, it's not as good as the destroyer over here, guys. Definitely not as good as the destroyer. So we might be able to pop the Moab over here. Let's see. Okay, there we go. We do pop the Moab. We actually get some balloons down over here, but balloons are still going to sneak through. Compare that to something like a destroyer with Grapeshot or something like that. We send out a Moab over here. This guy's going to start spraying and doing mega damage over here really freaking fast, popping the Moab way faster. I think he's going to pop all the balloons inside as well. And this isn't even hot shot. Keep in mind, we are spending more money for this guy, but, you know, there's a pretty drastic difference right there. But when we look at the actual pop counts over here, we're getting up to 3.2, 3.4 for the 230, and then oddly enough, because we have it for so cheap, the 030 was actually 3.8, almost 4. Oh my god, man, that is awesome right there. Definitely a solid tower to use in this game. And I think I'm probably going to underestimate the cannon ship quite a bit in this game, but he's going to be a pretty solid tower to use. But it seems like the faster shooting and stuff doesn't really seem to matter all that much. Sure, you're going to get more pops out of him, but you're spending more money than you're actually getting back out of him. So just a 030 cannon ship was kind of the surprise for me. Though again, I do think that you, in a real life situation, you probably would want to get a faster shooting cannon ship if you were planning on going for that guy. Another sort of surprise for us was the lack of popping power for a 4th and 5th tier aircraft carrier. Sure, we're getting a lot of balloons popped. We popped a whopping 26,000 with our 4th tier and a crazy 70,000 with our 5th tier over here. But because we're spending 7,650 and another 21,250 over here, turns out to be a little bit of a lackluster tower overall. Now, the nice thing is this guy does have infinite range, so on certain maps this may end up being better, you know? But, I don't know. Just looking at the pop counts just makes him seem like a little on the weak side overall, you know? But one thing we're noticing is that we're about 3 times as strong as the 4.2, getting up to the 5.2, and that makes sense because it's about 3 times the price. So, you know, if you actually look at the pops to cost ratio over here, 2.2 and 2.1 on this thing, it's just a very reasonable amount of pops over there for a pretty reasonable amount of cost. So let's get rid of that, and now let's start talking about each of the individual upgrades and kind of how they work. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I feel like the table speaks for itself. If you want to, always you can go back and check that thing out. I'll probably talk about it throughout the video at least a little bit as well. So faster shooting. All right, we shoot faster, man. All right, cool. Double shot. Now we're shooting out 2 darts instead of 1. So we go from shooting 1 dart to shooting out 2 darts. So now we can go through basically like, not 2 layers, but through 2 balloons at the same time, which is sort of weird to think about. Like if I sent out a blue, we could take it down to nothing, but it's really just 2 darts hitting it, if that makes any sense. We don't do layer damage though. It's weird to think about it like that, but we don't do layer damage. It's still just going to be those 2 darts going through 2 balloons per thing, and then they can go, of course, through multiple balloons as well. As a 0-0, we only do 4 balloons per shot. So if I sent out 5 reds over here, 5 reds, we're going to see the dart is going to go through 4 of these balloons, but 1 of them should be left over. And we pop through 4, and the 1's left over. So not that bad as a 0-0 tower. Plus, he can shoot out 2 darts at a single point if he wants to, up to 8 pops per shot. I think it's going to be really difficult to get the max popping power out of our Buccaneer because of that the two-way shot right there. I feel like it's going to be really hard to use on a lot of maps. Normally, we're going to leave this guy in first, something like that. He's not going to be attacking first and like straight backwards to hit the balloons. So positioning's really going to matter for your Buccaneer in a lot of these maps over here, guys. So once we get past Double Shot over here, we get to the Destroyer. And now this is my favorite Buccaneer right here. I love the Destroyer. He shoots fast, good against Moabs. You can get the Grapeshot and the hot shots and make him even better. But he's just an overall awesome tower. He is pretty pricey though. This is only real downfall. You know, Buccaneers are like sort of the cheaper, decent popping power tower. Then we have to go all the way up to about $3 grand to get a Destroyer over here. So it's nice, but it's not that nice. Aircraft carrier, though, now we have infinite range. So we still have our regular shot. We can still get the Grapeshot and all that other stuff. But now we have these planes that just fly all around and pop the balloons. So they do actually fly around in specific directions to try and hit the Moabs or try and hit the balloons better. You notice they kind of just hook around and then shoot in a straight line all the way down, making like slight little adjustments along the way. They're pretty cool. They're pretty interesting. They do a decent job overall. And, I don't know. I like him as a tower, but I probably won't use him all that much. So, for the 5th tier, though, this doesn't come into play in our graph at all. You know, we just noticed that it's just popping power. That's all we're talking about for popping power. But this one, well, quote-unquote, does extra damage, but then can place other monkeys on the upper decks of the ship. So that's a little bit of a bonus. It really doesn't matter all that much, but we do end up getting the 3D aspect kind of deleted if we build things on top of this ship. And then beyond that, though, increases attack speed of all water-based monkeys. So now all of the other monkeys on the entire map over here, man, are going to be stronger because of this guy right here. I actually have not checked to see if it's all over the screen, but it says all water-based monkeys, not just monkeys within his range. So I'm just going to go with Ninja Kiwi and hope that is the case today. But, that's not bad, increasing all the speed of all these other monkeys. Now, it's sad because it's only water monkeys, man. So again, it's just that submarine water combo. What we're noticing is that a lot of these water towers power up other water towers. So if you combine them all together into some sort of weird, like, water mega destroyer or something like that, a water Death Star, you could say, they can actually, like they power all of each other up and make each other better. Like the submarine ends up giving power-up to other things. Submarine ends up giving power-ups. This guy can give power-ups. Like, even different pathways can give different power-ups for, you know, the same water towers. It's just very interesting to see that come into play. But, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, what we could do is we can get rid of the 3D aspect. So if we do have, like, a... Oh, we don't get rid of the 3D aspect. What? Really? I thought we could see right over those things if we put them on top here, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. I kept just saying that has to be the case. I hope that Ninja Kiwi actually changes that, because that just doesn't suck, but it's way cooler just to think about him being able to get rid of that. So I apologize. That was just always in my brain, man. I just kept saying it until it just became true in my head. But I was wrong, and I apologize. What I thought... Excuse me. What I thought, though, was that if you put something on top of the aircraft carrier, kind of like if you put something on top of the log on Tree Stump, it would just make it so you don't get blocked anywhere by anything on the screen. But so far, I'm not an experienced, skilled player with the aircraft carriers. I don't use them all that much, so I didn't know this. But it still is fun, because now you can put land towers on the water. You can do this very similarly with an Arctic wind as well. This is the only other way to do it, though, is if you get an Arctic wind, then you can also put other towers on the water as well, which is kind of cool, because they freeze, and they kind of just make some sort of cool area over here. I did not mention this in my ice tower video, because I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, by the way. Maybe you guys can learn some stuff on this one. Anyways... So a decent tower overall. Once you sell this guy, oh man, that just freaking well, that's kind of weird. The weird thing is if you have an Arctic wind over here, though, and you sell the Arctic wind, it doesn't disappear. So, bloop, it does not disappear. Whoa, interesting, man. Interesting indeed. Be kind of cool if it, like, melted into the water eventually or something. Like, you gotta replenish the ice, Chris. Replenish it. Alright, let's talk about that middle path. Again, we don't even have to go into too much detail. We just want to talk about it. Just give a quick thought about it. Grapeshot, well, it's kind of cool because now we're getting an extra 5 popping power basically out of each one of our shots. Hot shots. Now we're going to start burning through the balloons. So not only do we do like residual damage over time, but we can also do lead damage too. Send out some lead, send out some zebras, send up some whatever, man. We can start to burn through the balloons. We do burn through 2 layers of balloons, though, which is actually pretty gosh darn nice. See, that yellow balloon's going to burn down to a green. The green's going to actually burn down to a red, but we hit it with an extra dart over there. Overall, it's pretty nice. I actually like it as a tower. I feel like it's actually one of the most effective Buccaneers for me in my, like, regular games. Getting like a Grapeshot or a Grapeshot Fire Shot can really add to the popping power. He's not all that accurate, though, is the main thing. He just kind of throws popping power out. That's what he does. So you need to have some sort of cleanup action in the back over here. This is not going to be like, oh, I'm going to pop every single bloom with this guy, unless you get all the way up to a destroyer. Once you get up to the cannon ship, he's actually a pretty solid tower overall. Now you've also got the lead popping power over here. That makes sense, but we also do that grouped damage as well. And you can see the pretty extreme amount of damage we do over here to these grouped regular balloons. The explosion's actually pretty gigantic as well. For only a $700 tower or so, explosions are nice. I feel like they're like way bigger than the cannon, even like getting up to like a 3rd tier cannon in some situations. This guy might actually have like a better sized explosion basically. But the amount of balloons that we can pop is not extreme, so if we did send out 999 red balloons over here, you're going to see that, oh no, oh god, with 0 spacing, Chris, 0 spacing. You're going to see the amount of pops that we get is not extreme, but still decent. So, you know, like I said, it's good, but it's not amazing in any way, shape, or form. It's definitely better against just random balloons kind of coming all over the place on like a regular game. But his attack speed really does make up for it. I mean, this guy's not a slow shooter. If we get double shot and we end up doing like way more freaking damage here, attacking on both different directions, I can definitely see this guy end up being a much more usable tower in this game. In fact, we almost take down all of the reds right there just by himself. Might seem like, oh man, can't even take down red balloons? But that's 999 red balloons right there, guys. Moving on to the 4th tier, now we get an ability. Alright, so now we get a quick Monkey Pirates ability over here. What we can do is we can insta-kill Moab and BFB class balloons, but not the Oh My Gods. We can also, I believe we can do DDTs as well. So we can do a quick test over here. Let's just do, we'll do this guy up to Radar Scanner. We're going to buy another Buccaneer over here just for the meantime. Go up to a 4th tier Monkey Pirates. And then I want to send out a quick DDT right here. We're going to insta-kill this guy. Boom! We take down a DDT with this thing. Once we move on to Moabs and BFBs, we can take those guys down as well as an insta-kill. So here's a BFB. We're going to slurp that thing up and insta-kill it. So that's pretty nice as a 4th tier tower right here. It's not all that usable in this game, mainly because the ability, like, usually when we get this thing, we're like, okay, let's get it right on round 60. We actually have to get it on the early part of round 59, because the ability takes time to actually come back. And if I actually had this happen to me on one of my on my live stream, I ended up losing on round 60 because my Buccaneer didn't get his ability up in time, and I ended up popping it down to Moabs. And I was like, oh no! And I even bought it on round 59 too. I didn't even buy it on round 60. I bought it on round 59, and we still ended up losing, which was just really upsetting. Moving on to the Pirate Lord. Now this guy's pretty fun as well because now we can pop multiple big balloons, actually. So we can do only one Oh My God, though. But we can do one Oh My God and one BFB. It's weird how they do that. If we do this one Oh My God, but if I do one Oh My God and one BFB over here, hopefully by the time we get our ability back, this thing won't end up getting perped. Let's see, let's see, let's see. But now we can insta-kill a Oh My God and a BFB. Oh, what? No! Now you're supposed to kill both of those things. What the heck? He was doing that for me before. They changed that, or what? So let me see. Let me read this guy, man. Let me read this thing. Can shoot 3 grappling hooks at once and plunder extra cash from Moab class balloons brought down with them. Alright, this is really goofy, man. Let's try 1, 2, 3 BFBs. It's supposed to be 3, but it actually only takes down 2. Or only 1 now. What? That's really upsetting. So I think DigiKiwi broke it even further, man. Oh, they were trying to fix it. Okay. It's probably going to get fixed by the time the video comes out. It'll probably be good for you guys. But for me, for right now, it only takes down 1 balloon per shot. Maybe they just couldn't get it to take down 3 balloons per shot. But the way it's supposed to work is it's supposed to be able to take down 3 balloons per shot. The question is, what kind of balloons are they actually allowing us to take down? When the game came out, it was a Oh My God to BFB, or 2 BFBs, or a BFB and a Moab, or 2 Moabs. Right now, it's only 1 balloon, it seems like. 1, 2, 3, let's see if we take down 3 Moabs. Nope, only 1 Moab. What the heck, man? Pirate Lord? What are you doing, Pirate Lord? Let me rebuild this guy just to see if there's some sort of weird error happening over here. I don't think so, but it'll be a good little test for us over here. We'll even get rid of this thing. And try 1, 2 BFBs again. So if we can... Oh, there we go. All right, so now it is taken down to what the heck? See what I mean, guys? It's hard for me to know if I'm bugging it out, or if I'm glitching it out, or if I'm just making things happen, man. I don't know. I don't know what the goofiness here is. But we try Oh My God and BFB now. And if I insta-kill, There we go. All right, it's working for me, man. I wonder if they fixed it now that I can do multiple Zomagods or multiple BFBs. So we're just going to set up 3 Zomagods and 3 BFBs over here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And we're going to see what we actually take down right here. Looks like only 1 Zomagod right there and no BFBs. Okay. All right. Coolio. And last test here, guys. Do the 3 mobs one last time, see if we can take down 3. And we can take down 3. So it's 1 Zomagod, 2 BFBs, and 3 Moabs. That's what the Pirate Lord does. We finally figured it out, my friends. It's finally not glitched over here. It's finally not bugged, and we got this going for ourselves. Really nice and delicious like. Plus, it does give you extra money. It doesn't seem like a whole bunch of extra money, but it supposedly is extra money. I actually don't know the actual number, because in Sandbox you get more money than in a real game. So feel free to test that out for yourself, but at this point, I don't know how much money it's actually giving you per Moab class BFB or Zomagod class Bloon that you do end up insta-killing with the Monkey Pirates. Yeah, and plunder extra cash from each Moab class Bloon. I don't know, man. Moving on, though, now we've got some pretty interesting upgrades. We have the longer range, which is pretty self-explanatory. The Buccaneer's range is already pretty awesome, so getting that extra bonus right there really does help us out. The Crow's Nest. Alright, now we've got Camo Detection, so you can combine this with any of the other upgrades if you want to. Personally, if I was going for a Buccaneer, and I wanted to get extra money out of my Buccaneer, I'd probably go for a 0, 2, 3. But that's up to you. You can go for the faster shooting and the double shot if you want to, but I like the Grapeshot just a little bit better. So this is where it gets interesting, guys. I've got another picture for you. Alright, let's talk about this now, man. What is this going to do? So actually, the 3rd and 4th tier Buccaneers are actually not that hard to understand, but getting to that 5th tier is where it gets really frickin' goofy. So try not to pay attention to too much of the bottom part of this little table here for a little while. I'll talk about that in just a second here. Right now, what I want to talk about is just the fact that the 3rd tier costs $29.20 total and gives you 200 per round, and that gives you an efficiency of 14.6, which is very similar to a banana farm. If you guys don't remember, I'm pretty sure it was almost the exact same number, and Ninja Kiwi must know this and made this the exact same number and the exact same cost, kind of just match up for banana farms to this Monkey Buccaneer right here. Moving on to the 4th tier, though, you end up spending almost $8,000, but you get 500 money per round, which ends up giving you an efficiency of 15.19, which is actually worse than the 3rd tier, but like not by much that, not by anything that actually really matters over here. It just is a little bit more. So I should mention also that efficiency, as far as banana farms and or boats are concerned, lower is better. You know, again, it's just this own made-up number that I came up with, so I can make it do whatever I want. But lower is better for income, higher is better for pop count, at least as far as I calculate at this point. So the cool thing about these guys is that they're about as efficient as a banana farm, but they also pop balloons, baby. I should mention also that this may end up changing just a little bit if you do end up buying the Grapeshot and the Hot Shot, because that cost is not incorporated into these Buccaneers right here. This is just a 0-3, which people probably won't end up getting for the most part. People will probably end up getting like a Grapeshot Buccaneer and then a Hot Shot, and then maybe like eventually upgrade them up to favored trades over here. So what we're realizing here is that no matter what you're getting, as far as low-tier banana farms, as far as Buccaneers go, everything is pretty much like the same income. Just like, as long as you're buying something that makes income, like Ninja Kiwi did a good job of just like making everything fair. But once we get up to the 5th tier, this is where it gets really goofy. So I'll let you guys know that I've done this math myself, and if you guys don't know, I have gone to college. I'm a fairly educated person over here. I have taken, I feel like I'm good at math, alright? I feel like I'm good at math in general. I'm actually really good at mental math, but like moving on to like higher level maths, I can do it and everything, but I don't generally like it. I have taken all the way up to calculus. In fact, I skipped pre-calc and went into calculus because I needed to do that to get my to be able to get into my major, my biology major, to eventually be able to join in and get all of my my major classes going over there. So yeah, it was actually a bit hectic because I had to take calculus in the middle of summer when I wasn't planning on it, just kind of out of nowhere. But let's read this really quick. Generates more cash per round, increases cash earned by all other merchantmen by the number of merchantmen. So basically what we're talking about here, guys, is sort of like a word problem. And what the heck does this mean? So let's explain it really quick. When you buy when you have a 5th tier Buccaneer, this guy's going to make you $800 per round. Then you're also going to make 40 bonus money per Buccaneer you have. So realistically, the 3rd tier is going to be your best bonus money because it's still going to give you $40. Even if you have a 4th tier, it's still going to give you $40 only. So like the best bang for your buck is definitely going to be spamming 0-3s with this guy. But anyways, what I had to do is I just try to make an algebraic equation over here for money per round. And what I came up with, and again, I'm not 100% sure if this is right. If there's any math majors out there, man, feel free to correct me. But what I did was I ignored the money per round, and I only included the bonus money per round. Alright? So I have $800 plus 40, that's the money we get per round, times the number of boats, which is X, and then we have to square that because it multiplies the boats times the boats to give you extra money. So maybe that's even the freaking equation that Ninja Kiwi has in the freaking game over here. I don't know, but really what we're doing is we're trying to create an equation that will somehow equal the money per round. And that's what I got. So then what I did was I was like, okay, we don't actually have a true efficiency. There is no true efficiency that the boat has. So what I did was I made it up. I was like, okay, if we want to break even and make as much money as the 4th tier Buccaneer, like when should we actually trade over from 4th tiers to a 5th tier? I came up with just a random number of 15. That seems like a solid efficiency for us. So then I have to plug in some numbers into my equation over here. And again, math incoming, guys. Gigantic math battleship incoming right now. If you don't like math, just skip over this thing and just understand that x equals 5 equals, the number of boats that makes it like better. All right. Anything 5 boats is basically like the break-even point. 6 boats is you're gonna start doing amazing. Anything beyond that, and holy crap, dude, does this guy get insane. And when I say insane, I really do mean frickin' insane. So let's look at the numbers right here and try and break it down for you guys. So really what I'm doing right now is I'm actually working backwards. So I've got my efficiency, which is 15, times my money divided by the round, or money per round, sorry. My money per round equals 27,145. So now what I have to do is I have to fill in the numbers. So we're going to have our efficiency of 15 multiplied by the money per round, which is 500 times 40x squared. And then I'm pretty sure I have to factor this out. So I factored it out, and I got 12,000 equals 600x squared equals 27,145, right? Then what I did was I just solved for it. So I subtracted the 12,000, then I divided by 600, and then I get x squared equals 25.24. And then if you guys don't understand what that means, well, basically we just take the square root. Square root of 25 is about 5. So that's the number. That's what we got. 5 Buccaneers is basically our break-even point. And again, even if this doesn't actually work out 100% perfectly for the math, or even if I did like a slight error, like that makes sense. You know, this is like a logical solution right here. It just makes sense for this Buccaneer to work that way. But I want to go a little bit further and just understand this a little bit better. So if you look at the right side over here, I did, instead of money per round, you're going to notice that there's 10 boats down there and 100 boats. And I wanted to solve for that. And what I got was an efficiency of, at 10 boats, we get 5.6. And again, lower is better. So we're basically 3 times as good getting 10 boats as getting 5 boats. And to me, that's pretty ridiculous, man. Like, just doubling the boats equals 3 times better. How does that work? Well, it's exponential growth because of that x squared right there, guys. If you look at a graph of x squared, it's exponential. All right? And if you guys don't know, exponential grows really freaking fast. Okay? Yeah, exponential growth of anything is really, really, really freaking fast. Then I decided to just say, okay, screw it, let's try 100 boats, because that's probably about the max that I can fit, like, on like Spice Islands or something like that, like a full-on water map. Maybe I could go a little higher than that, maybe 150 or something like that, but that would just be insane in the first place. Like, who the heck would do that? You'd have to be crazy to do that. And maybe I will. Maybe I will be crazy, guys, eventually. But I got a, if you noticed, actually, because it's only 10 boats and then 100 boats, you know, we can actually just do a quick little moving over the decimal place right there. We got 0.056. And again, because lower is better, we're realizing how absolutely insane that is. Oh my goodness. So what I did though is actually mess this up earlier. So I'm doing a partial post commentary for you guys talking about these Buccaneers. So I don't even remember what the heck I was talking about right now. But I was just mentioning that you have to make sure that if you are getting the 5th tier, you probably want to chill with more 3rd tiers rather than 4th tiers. Because if you're getting a bunch of 5th tiers, you're spending a crap ton of money and not getting a lot of bonus out of it. You're not getting that X squared aspect to happen quite as quickly. So you definitely want to go for those 3rd tiers. Just get like 5 3rd tiers, 6 3rd tiers in combination with 1 5th tier, and you're gonna be a really freaking happy camper over here. If you are gonna build a bunch of 3rd tiers though, feel free to buy the Grapeshot and the Hotshot and everything, but honestly at a certain point it just doesn't matter. Like, you don't need it. It's not gonna be the help that you want it to be. Even spamming a bunch of Buccaneers, it's nice and everything, but just because you're just gaining so much more money, you're better off saving that thing and then buying a bunch of really high tier, high priced everything. So just to finish off my video here, guys, I was just going to mention, like, what sort of Buccaneers should you buy? First of all, targeting doesn't matter. First, strong, close, or last. Do whatever you want. Personally, I usually leave my Buccaneers on first, and usually they attack the first Bloons trying to sneak through, and then the last Bloons, like, sort of near where they can sort of come out. If I was going to upgrade, I'd probably stick with mostly 3rd tier Buccaneers, either the Destroyer with a Grapeshot or Hot Shots, and or a Cannon Ship with extra speed or double shots. Those are like my 2 main go-to Buccaneers over here. If you want to go up to the aircraft carrier, feel free, but he tends to he's okay, alright, he's okay. If you look back at that graph from the front up there, he's okay, he's nothing special. Even when the Bloons are completely filling up the screen, he doesn't end up being as great as you want him to be. So you're better off just spamming Destroyers. The only reason you'd get one of those aircraft carriers is if you're running out of space with your Buccaneers right. That's really the only reason you do that. But the 3rd tiers are the best, guys. Destroyers, Cannon Ship, and Merchant Ship. These guys are the guys to go for. Of course, if I missed anything or if I messed up any math in this video, feel free to correct me in the comments below. I do appreciate that. If you guys haven't pressed the like button or subscribed yet, you're missing out on something over there. Make sure you do that right frickin' now. And of course, have a super duper delicious day.